Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Week 8 of the AFDL Warriors of the Rift North American Series. Tonight, we feature the U.S. Army versus the U.S. Navy, one of the very classic battles that we have basically just within football, within every single sport that they play. And tonight, we get to feature it in League of Legends. I am Megan Akrosma, joined tonight by Thalassic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am ready to see Navy whoop some Army butt tonight. I'm ready to see 2 games done at 20, and yeah, this is gonna be great.
I do want to remind you, though, as casters, we are to remain unbiased. So we weren't able to get anyone from the Army to kind of counteract this, Navy propaganda this Navy propaganda that we got going on over here. So you might just have to listen to Thalassic kind of be a Navy simp. You got me, though. Yeah, like,
That's
unfortunately, my brother was in the Navy for a little bit, so I do kind of have that little relation. I'm not like Thalassic, though. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they're the best, they're everything. Oh my gosh, how can anyone do anything else?
Nah, see, if anything, I'm going to be even harder and more critical on the Navy because I
That's fair.
know
That's a
how
good point.
great these guys can be. And if they're
Okay,
not
you've
living
gone
up
too
to it,
far. You've gone
I'm
too
going to
far.
give them so much grief the whole time. If I don't see the picks I like, you know, bet I'll call them out.
You have very. What is this Hello Fresh command that we have in chat here? I am not sure. Production, what are you saying to me? So, Thalassic, you were not here last week, but we got to see the best series ever with the Coast Guard versus the U.S. Air Force. If anyone is interested, you can sub to the channel to watch the VOD. Eventually, it will be uploaded to YouTube. But if you want to watch it earlier, you want to see all the crazy hijinks that happen. You see Thalassic over there drinking? Yeah, he like basically that's how we were during the game. We were just like, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, we were basically just like drinking water, having a great time. We were chilling, but it was one of the more entertaining series that I have ever seen in League of Legends. Everybody having fun, everybody having a great time. But enough of last week. Tonight, we got, again, Army versus Navy. Thalassic, as the Navy guy, what do you want to see the Navy do?
I want to see them play to their strengths. I'm not going to call it out here because I don't want to give Army any, inside
We are
information. But
on
I
a
definitely.
delay.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah, no, I want to see them play to what they're good at. There's definitely, looking at both these teams, you can definitely see who their power people are going to be, right? On the Navy side, you've got Mind. On the Army side, you've got Insidious. I definitely want to see both these teams play to their strengths, and I want to see if they can figure out how to take advantage of their better players. All the players tonight are going to be great, and I think these games are actually, despite what I want to see, they're actually going to be really close. I just want to see which team is going to be able to pull out that special something, that little bit of extra oomph, and come out on top in game one, because I think that'll set the pace for the whole night.
And what do you think the Army is going to do? 'Cause I believe we've seen the Army a little bit more than we've seen the Navy. So, what are we going to see from the Army to kind of counteract the Navy's attempts to climb in the rankings?
I think it's going to come down to their bans and picks here. Honestly, the Navy team is very, very good if they get certain champs. They're good overall, and they can be good. They have a wide champion pool, but if they get certain champions, they're going to be fantastic. So I really think it's going to come down right now to how well these two teams have scouted each other, because they do have access, right, to the other team's records. So it's going to come down to, are you banning the right champion from the right players? What are you able to do to combat who you didn't ban, right? On the Navy or on the
Mm-hmm.
Army side, for instance, you're going to see some jinx probably. Well, did you throw out a jinx ban? No. And if they pick it, do you have a counter to it? But I do think
Remus.
this will be an interesting way to start.
So we have already started with the bans. We get Mordekaiser, Brandon, Ash banned out by the Army. For the Navy, they are getting rid of Master Yi, Corki, and Rel. The Rel is a very specific targeted ban towards the Army's support. He's played a lot of Rel in solo queue over the last couple days. Mordekaiser target ban towards the Army, Navy's top laner. Brand is just one of those consistent.
Got it.
Sorry, that is supposed to be a Jarvan, not a Janna pick. Locked in for the Army first. A little bit of just a slight error. The back to the Brand jungle. It's just a disgusting pick. It's so easy to wave clear, sit back and just watch the camps just burn to death. Ash, that staple 80 carry in the bot lane, never going to go away. So the Jarvan pick to start off with the Army. I like the Jarvan pick as basically a solid point of engage. The only issue is it is committal engage. If you flag and drag in as a Jarvan, the only other way to basically engage and get out is flash Cataclysm, flag and drag out, but you're not doing that. You're wasting your flash. So this committal engage from the Army has to have decent follow-up from the rest of the team comp. It has to be built now around this Jarvan engage to see what they can do with it.
Yeah, and looking at these, I do want to point out Brand is an amazing pick, because not only is it a great jungler, but it's flexible, right? If the other team comes out with something crazy, you can always flex him mid. You can flex him even support still. J4, look, I like Jarvan when he's picked at the end of a draft. But when you pick him at the beginning, it lets the other team know, okay, I need to pick something that can get out of a Jarvan. I need to pick an Ezreal. So when he ults, I can just pop over, right?
Oh,
I need
even
to
the
pick...
Leona as well.
Yeah.
The Leona,
This
you hit
is...
a Zenith Blade, you're out of the Cataclysm there. You've basically a solid CC chain and a good Zeri pick, that extra mobility, that constant movement just to get away from Leona's CC. So hopefully we can see some more coming out from the army to kind of keep that Zeri alive. Ari for the mid laner, again, just more CC, but again, I like the Navy's counter pick already to this Jarvan. There are still a couple mid laners that have a decent amount of mobility that will be able to get out of the Cataclysm. Aatrox banned out by the Navy. We're getting into our second round of bans here, waiting for the last pick for the Navy to come in for the first rotation.
Yeah,
My
I'm
nose
looking at
itches
the
like
Navy
crazy.
team. I really like how what they picked so far. I think when you see a Jarvan, especially a first pick Jarvan, you kind of know how the enemy team's going to play, right? I think especially with Jarvan and the fact that his ultimate really locks you in there, if you're able to see that first pick, you're going to be able to draft around it. And if you've got a wide enough champ pool, you're going to be able to pick well. I do like the Dr. Mundo ban coming in. We have seen Mind play Mundo recently. The Malzahar ban just made me hate Army even more, because even if Navy wasn't playing it, I want to see some Malzahar. And then the Braum ban, I think that's a great idea. I hate playing against Braum. The only support I really hate more is Bard right now, because, man, those Bard roams really, really upset me.
I like the individual pick.
Called it. I told you, if they don't ban it, you're going to see it.
He was saying multiple times during pregame that we were going to see an Elise jungle for the Navy. We have gotten the Elise jungle locked in. We also have an Ornn top lane for the Navy. So I like the late game scaling from the Navy. Late game, those Ornn item upgrades giving 1,000 gold each. If you're only down 2,000 gold, but Ornn's level 15, you've negated that in gold value off stats. Volibear top lane will be able to bully this Ornn out early, as long as Ornn can survive, basically use the Bellow's Breath, unstoppable the stun. I like that pick. And Annie, like, look, okay, Jarvan, you're going to Cataclysm me. Cool. It's Bear Arena now. You're stuck in here with me. Other interesting thing. Ornn can break the Jarvan Cataclysm with his charge. It is terrain. It is breakable. So I like that. It gives your team that extra little bit of movement to get out. Oh, I like the Navy's draft here. You're never going to hear me. You're not going to hear me say this often. So savor this. I think the Navy's going to win this game. I like their comp so much better. It scales so well into the late game. Elise can kind of cover that early game deficit that Annie, Ezreal, and Ornn sort of lack, that early game engage. However, late game, she is not going to be that strong unless she goes off early. But that late game kind of weakness is negated by the Annie, the Ezreal, the Leona, and the Ornn. The rest of their team is just so dominant late game. That extra damage, that CC, it's going to be gross.
Yeah, I'm looking at both these teams right now, and if I'm going to give it an unbiased analyzation here, right?
Can we get a press X to doubt in the chat here on unbiased?
It's unbiased. Here we go. If I'm looking at these teams, I honestly think that when it comes down to playing the fights, I think Navy has a little bit of a head start, right? They've got enough to break and get out of the Jarvan ult. Even if Volibear, tower dives you, Leona's really great. Annie's got CC. Elise can jump up. I like the Navy comp better. I be that Elise. I'm still here, right? You still got me?
Yeah, you are.
Cool. If the Elise can get ahead and can shift that and allow the bot lane or the mid lane to get ahead, I think Navy will be in a good space. But on the other side, if the J4 is able to get that Ahri ahead early or get that Zeri ahead early, I think Goats and Glory is going to struggle. So I really think this is going to come down to which jungler is going to have the larger impact and how big of an impact they make on the solo lanes.
So what I want to see is I want to see the Jarvan Lulu combination as well as the Volibear in there. Jarvan flag drags, cataclysms, and Lulu not polymorphism, hugifies them immediately, knocking them up, giving him that extra bit of health, and Volibear just sky splitters right on top of them. It's just a great AoE combination of CC and damage, and it can be very deadly. Then again, Leona can get out of it if she Zenith Blades correctly. Ezreal can Arcane Shift out of it. Elise can Repel out of it. Annie is just kind of stuck there. But Annie should never be on the front line in these team fights.
Yeah.
Annie needs to be in the back, waiting for that right moment, or taking a flank to try to get to the back line. And Ornn breaking the Cataclysm, again, it's going to be huge if they're able to pull off these team fights. However, a flashless Elis Ezreal is going to melt if he is caught out by any of these members. One charm from Ahri will sign his death warrant. Zeri will just be able to blast her way through this front line once we get to late game, as well as hitting multiple members with her ult. So I think we're about to see some of the most intense team fights that we've seen to date. And I think this is going to be one of the most skill-intensive matchups that we've had in 8 weeks of doing this, and I'm very interested to see what happens. I think we've talked all that we can about these team comps. Now, who has the mental edge?
That is good. Man, I think if you just finished the draft and you're looking at the drafts right now, I think both teams are coming in it at a high mental. I think if you're Army, you see the ways to win, right? You see your path. I think it's pretty clear. If you're Navy, you understand how you need to win. I think both these teams are even. And honestly, I think we'll be able to tell who's going to win this game, I think, probably by 10 minutes. I think at 10 minutes, if this game has been strong, we're going to see who's going to win. But let's go ahead and get into game one.
So I like what you said, that we'll probably see a winner by 10 minutes. I want to draw your attention to the LEC finals that we had on Sunday, where Fnatic kind of casually threw 3 games in a row and should not have won any of them. So we will get to see a decent bit of action here early. Hana going up a little far, those flags, trying to get that extra little bit of vision, but not going to take enough damage to force him to back.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think Elise already used the pot.
No, Army, you're done. I just got notified. Genre is using the $500 Ahri skin. He's a simp. He's a whale. Navy all the way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can confirm that is true. He is correct. Let's go Navy. Now, this is what I wanted to see though, right? I wanted to see people with $500 skins, really invested.
I can't defend you. I can't defend you anymore. All jokes aside, I think the Ahri skin is actually a pretty dope skin. I think the way that Riot released it was not correct, but I can't really say much about it. Genre getting a good trade onto Flux starting out early. That electrocute damage is kind of strong early game. Strong enough to just do a healthy chunk of damage.
Yeah, and you can see both junglers, they've almost cleared one side, about to swap over, so Jarvan's pathing towards that top side. He should be spotted on vision when he goes for his blue, if that ward stays up long enough. On the other side, I don't think they're going to have any vision on where Elise is. Hopefully for Navy, this Elise is able to quickly clear bot side and start playing on the map. Looks like Jarvan won't get spotted out either. And outside of that, this is pretty easy, pretty even.
I noticed press the attack Elise.
Here we go.
And I'm interested to see where that goes. Starting off with the gank, Mystics going in. Those auto attacks are coming in. The cocoon hits. The stun is locked. Genre is trying to flash away, but it's not enough. First blood over to Flux, and Unohana is not in a good spot right now. Flux will fall as well, but Mystic is right there with the chomp down from the spider. Flashing from chasing now is stunned by the cocoon, trying to find that last kill on the Mystic, but boy, playing Ring Around the Rosie, and Mystic's just gonna walk out of it.
Yeah, it's exactly like I said. Keep an eye on these junglers and see which one's able to make the difference, a bigger difference.
Mystic, you are not in a good spot. You do not win this, buddy. Yep, Charin connects, and Mystic's gonna greed and die immediately. Oh,
yeah, that was
you were doing so well, and then you just immediately lost it. I'm sorry, but that's painful.
That mid lane went from pretty decently ahead, right, with the kill, even farm, to just putting it right back at even. And this game, after some great jungle moves, some good team fights, we're already right back to even. So we got about 6 more minutes, like I said, until we hit that 10-minute threshold, and we see which team is pulling ahead.
So here's the other thing about Cocoon's not going to connect. Here's the other thing about giving the red buff over. If you deal any damage to Genre, he's just going to be able to heal it back up with the base health regeneration. Flux is getting flagged and dragged on. The charm connects as well. Another kill. Genre picks up his second of the game. Flux will die again. And now Mystic is stuck in a really bad spot. The repel goes up. Flag and drag misses. But again, Mystic is just trying to use those spiders to block it. Genre walks past it. The charm connects. A third kill. Genre on a killing spree. 4.5 minutes into the game. Baymax flashes over the wall, but the flag and drag from Unohana is also going to follow up. They're going to try to run him down, but they are not going to be able to. Unohana is going to try to steal the blue buff away, but Flux is on the way. They are going to try to defend. Unohana rightfully sees that he's not in a good spot, backs out, gets the Scuttle Crab, but might now still be in a bad spot. It's going to try to get out. The Ward will spot him walking over, but 3 quick kills in this Ahri's back pocket. It is not looking good for the Navy so far.
Yeah, and this was the one worry we had, right? Like I said before, you kind of knew Elise was coming. He tends to ego a little bit on Elise. And
I can tell he's going in again. Cocoon connects Unohana. They're just trading blows back and forth. Press the attack has proc for Mystic. The execute is there. Shield for Unohana. He's going to try to flag and drag back in. He picks up another kill, and Flux does not have the range to get the return kill. Mystic, like as you speak, he greeds for another kill, hands over his 3rd death. 2 kills for the Jarvan. Elise still has not cleared the bottom half of her map. The red buff's about to respawn. She still hasn't even cleared her blue.
Yeah, like I said, the Elise gets a little greedy, and I think this is what happens when things just go slightly wrong. I think a little bit more respect needed to be paid towards this Army team. Now Navy's got their work cut out for them. Just like that, in a manner of 2 minutes, they're down 2k gold. This Ahri has 3 kills, and I would not be surprised. I mean, they have the Dark Seal. Luckily, there's been no kills yet, but I would not be surprised if this Annie is the difference maker of this game now.
Genre is stunned. Will get hit by the Cocoon. Oh. Uses the first hit of the Spirit Rush. They will be able to get away. Mystic was actually really close to getting that. I think Genre thought maybe he could dodge out on the Cocoon, but unfortunately wasn't able to. I did have to get the ult out, but if I'm Genre, I'm feeling pretty good about that. All I have to do is use my ult to get away. How terrible. I'm going to fight up top. Eviscerate is just trying to burst down chasing. As long as Eviscerate can just stay out of the way of those Volibear chomps, he's going to be able to eventually deal enough damage. Chasing is standing still. I think he disconnected. Oh, unfortunate there. Eviscerate picks up the kill, reconnects just in time to see his death come through and respawn in the Summoner's platform. But, oh, that's unfortunate. Nice dive here. Insidious gets hit with the Zenith Blade. The cleanse comes through, but he sinks the fangs, and it's not enough. Picks up 1 kill. Baymax tanked the turret for just a little bit too long. The Venomous Bite does enough damage to just chunk Insidious. No Lulu there to keep him alive. A great dive from the Navy. Picks up their 4th kill of the match and has cut the deficit now down to only 1,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. They're down a little bit. They just need to play a little bit cleaner in some of these ganks and some of these tower dives, and they can get right
Hydrolite is
back in
just gonna
this.
run down Ezreal. He's gonna be able to pick up a solo kill. Oh, Insidious comes in right at the end, picks up the kill. But Hydrolite was doing so much damage there. CRN getting a little greedy, wanting that extra turret play, doesn't even get it. Dies for his greed. Oh my gosh, Hydrolite is not gonna see this. Yanarama goes in, hits the Cataclysm. Red gets the smite down, and now the fight breaks out. Baymax is trying to stun Insidious, will connect. Unahana flag and drags over Baymax. They are going to grab another kill. Flux with a great flash. Alt picks up two. Charm goes wide. Genre is trying to run down Flux now, trying to get any bit more damage down. Insidious picks up his third kill of the match. Tibbers is enraged. He's mad that Annie's dead. Unahana running away now. Again, just a great series of fights. Chasing seem to have some connection issues, and we do have a pause coming through. And 9-5 at 9 minutes into the game, a 3K gold lead for the Army. It's not looking good for the Navy.
Yeah, watching this game so far, I would say the things that have gone wrong haven't necessarily been Army doing well. They have been, right? They've taken advantage of it, but for the most part, it's just been missteps by the Navy. Am I still here?
A little bit of a freeze here on our end.
Okay.
We have, Riot Client decides to do Riot Client things, as most of you have probably seen if you've been playing lately. And after the pause, we now have a little bit of a catch up because it likes to be weird. Should be able to get back into it pretty soon, but 3 deaths on the jungler, 3 deaths on the mid laner for the Navy. Ezreal was able to grab 1 kill, but dies just for simple greed. So,
and I think if the Ezreal stays alive there, right, and doesn't die, that Dragonflight goes differently, right? You don't have
Eviscerate.
Yeah.
Eviscerate flashes. Don't think that was necessary. We'll have the ult back up in only a couple seconds. Is going to be able to kill Chasing here if he does it does it correctly. I don't know if he thought maybe he saw a Jarvan out of the corner of his eye, but a flash down for Eviscerate, maybe the nerves just getting to him a little bit. Is down 20 CS. That kill bringing the gold just slightly, only slightly in favor now of Chasing, but even still, that is not what you want to see happen. Chasing grabs the full Rod of Ages.
His lane is their winning lane right now too. So I mean, he should have. I think if he had gone a little bit more aggressive, pushed a little bit harder. I don't know why he flashed either. I think he probably won that actually. But
he absolutely does. He almost has the Call of the Forge God. He was only a couple of seconds away. That Call of the Forge God does so much damage between the brittle and both hits of the ult. Actually, it is just that's an easily won fight.
Yeah, and now Navy's got to find something else here as
Unahana
get ganked.
is going to find him. A nice flag and drag. Unahana's over the wall. Elise gets the smite secure, but Flux is walking right into a trap. The flag and drag is over there. Chasing is going to get knocked up by the Call of the Forge God. Tibbers has been summoned, and Chasing will eventually fall. Flux is low. Genre picks up one. Sorry, Unahana picks up 1. Genre is still doing a lot of damage. That Orb of Deception, the true damage on the way out. Unahana is tagged by the Cocoon. Mystic is trying to get one back, trying to avenge Flux again. He dodges the Searing Charge. Genre will be able to get out with his life, but Mystic is doing Mystic things, still falling a little bit, not going to go that far, knows that he is low, knows that 1 charm spells his death. Flux with a great flash. They are going to catch out Hydrolite. Insidious will get out, knows he cannot save his support right there. Flux grabs 3rd kill of the match. So this is, we are at 19 kills at just under 12 minutes. 1 objective has been taken, and this is an extremely violent game. Ooh.
And that's exactly what I was saying.
Unahana in the bush, flag and drag, will tag Mystic. The repel is not quick enough, and Mystic is stuck in the Cataclysm. Will fall eventually. I believe the Void Grubs actually got the killing blow there. Chasing the Sky was about to come down. The thunder was about to rain down on the Mystic, but the Void Grubs say, no.
Yeah, great job there from Unohana. Having that meta knowledge, knowing exactly where Navy's going to be, what they're going to be doing. The quick rotation of grubs gets them a kill, and now we're getting a little bit of a 1v. Oh, okay, Flux is dead.
Oh, Flux is dead again. Is not going to be able to pick up another kill. Hydro Eye was forced to use the heal just to stay alive, but a great charm polymorph combination, the endless chain of CC on an Annie that doesn't even have tier 2 boots or flash. And again, the army is just taking advantage of where the Navy is falling short. Those flashes, in the exception of top lane, because Eviscerate is so hard to kill, they are being, for lack of a better term, they are just being abused.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised. We're going to get a little action. No, we won't. I would not be surprised if both these teams, if this gets ran back. I think Army feels pretty good about where they are right now, but I think if you're Navy, you understand that a couple missteps in this early game is the only reason you're behind right now. If Elise hadn't gone, in that 1v1 against Ahri, giving her that first kill, if they played a little bit more conservatively with the Elise afterward, I think that this game is very easily could have gone the opposite way. And if I'm Navy, I mean, play as well as you can. Try to win this one, obviously, but I would not let the beginning of this game get you down, because I think next time if you ran this exact map back...
Oh, no. Flux is going to get caught out. Face checks the bush. The bear goes down. Hugify onto Unohana, but it's not enough to keep him alive. True Shot Barrage will grab one. Insidious gets a double, and they are just going to start the chase. Genre is dashing in. He's trying to get some extra damage down. Insidious is right there. He does, with the burst from his passive, grabs the third kill. Chasing's now just stuck up in the top lane. Since Eviscerate is bot, Genre, the charm goes wide. CRN takes a chunk of damage from the Orb of Deception and the zap from Zeri. And a solid fight from the army. They don't have to worry about the dragon. They get first turret top lane. The Volibear just gets to extend this gold lead. And I think the army is just running away with this game. Like you said at the beginning, we were going to have an idea of who's going to win this game at 10 minutes. And right now, we really are.
Yeah, Army, I mean, Ahri is a monster right now, 4-1 and 5, up 11 CS on the mid lane, other mid laner, an absolute monster. Zeri is a monster, and right now we're just not getting the focus. The Navy is not focusing enough on those two. Every fight, they're just being able to free fire. Zeri is free firing. Ahri's charms aren't even hitting, and she's doing a crazy amount of damage just with her other abilities. We definitely need to see Navy probably play for some picks now. I think if you can pick one of those two, the rest of the fight is a little easier, but we just need to see a little bit more in this game one.
It's easier, but it's still possible. A 6-1 Zeri is about to have the Navori, and it's just going to be able to start throwing out her Q so much more. Those extra attacks going in. Dragon is about to get chunked down. Wheels fall. Navy picks it up. Mystic dies in response, and the fight has broken out. Unohana picks up Mystic as well. Sky Splitter down, and the army is going to run away with this game. A nice Hugify picks up 3, and they are wiped. A triple kill for Insidious. They only lose Unohana and the Dragon, but they are fine with that as they kill all 5 of the Navy.
I mean, watching that fight, you could see exactly what needed to happen. It just didn't work out that way. Army absolutely perfectly came at that fight from every side, and even though Jarvan goes down, you had Ahri on the right side landing all of the abilities, right? That initial charm was able to get the Elise down, and then you had Zeri on the other side free firing. And when you're caught between those two,
Insidious is just going to be able to run over the wall, but the repel will follow. Mystic is going, but he's taking so much damage. He's gone too far. Insidious just melts the spider. People talk about using a boot, maybe a fly swatted to kill a spider. Well, Insidious shot him with a gun.
I mean, yeah, that's a 9-1 Zeri. You're a 3-7 Elise. I understand. You got the whole, it was really good. You chased him over the wall, but I think at that point, you actually let him go, right? He's 9-1 He has 2 completed items and boots. Uh,
He
maybe
only
you
had
don't
one
win
during
in a
that
straight
fight. He only had static shiv during that actual
Still,
fight, which half of the effect is only procced whenever you kill something. But oh my gosh, Insidious is gonna run away with this game, and we got to see the combination that I wanted. Oh, never mind. Cocoon goes wide. Chasing's gonna try to run away. Call of the Forge God comes out. Eviscerate is going to not going to tag Chasing. He flashes over the wall, is stuck in the pit now, does not have the Sky Splitter to get out. Mystic will grab another kill, try to salvage whatever they have. It's still an 8,000 gold lead at 17 minutes. Insidious is just running down CRN now. There's so much damage, but Baymax and Flux are on the flank. Insidious can just dash over the wall, though, if he does this properly. Teleport coming in for Genre, who has to immediately Spirit Rush away. Baymax is locked up. Zenith Blade out, but Insidious is gone legendary. The Hugify onto Genre to keep him alive. Unahana picks up Mystic on the back end of the fight, and this is just the army slapping the Navy with their wallet. They are going to call the Herald down. This will be an inhib turret at 18 minutes for the army, and this is going to be a very accelerated mid game.
I think it's over, actually. I think if Army is able to take 2 more kills here around this tower, because Navy's going to answer this, right? I think they have to. I want to say Army just walks away with this game at this point. I mean, you're up 11k gold. Zeri is unkillable. Ari is unkillable. J4, we saw right there. He jumped in on Flux and immediately wiped him off the mat. You've got Volibear, who, again, is probably the most behind on the Army team and is still ahead, right? He's 44 farm ahead of the other top laner. I think at this point, Army just needs to group up and run it down, and I don't see a way they lose right now unless they get picked. I think the only way that they can conceivably lose is to get picked, because they're going to win every team fight at this point.
Oh, absolutely. The way that Hydrolite is playing this Lulu is perfect. In the fights where Zeri is not being touched, he knows all he has to do is polymorph the Jarvan, hugify the Jarvan, hugify the Volibear as they go in to get that extra little bit of CC. If that last fight, Baymax did have a great flank, they were able to get on Insidious, but the hugify is right there, that extra health, that shield. Unahana is going to flag and drag. Eviscerate misses the volcanic rupture. And Unahana is just going to be able to walk away. Right now, with the Eclipse and the Sunderer Sky, this Jarvan is going to be very hard to kill in an extended fight. That bonus damage, Insidious is... Look at that damage! Wow, 400
stacks on Ari right now. 18 stacks.
Ari, the 500 Ari has the Medjai's. Cocoon goes wide. Insidious is feeling himself. He goes forward. The Cataclysm grabs one, and CRN is running away. The barrier's not going to be able to help you because you can't barrier a spear in your back. A double kill for Jarvan. Unahana is now stuck. He's got a bear hitting him, but Genre's in there. They're able to dash through. Insidious goes legendary. They're dashing, they're running, they're gunning, and they're going to end this game here at 20 minutes. Genre, Insidious, and Unahana, the carries of the army, are going to carry them to this first win over the Navy.
And a great win by them. Every fight after the beginning, I think Navy honestly got a little bit ahead of themselves after that initial fight. They thought they were in a good place, and they just fed over 4 or 5 kills. That is all Army needed to be able to take down this Navy team. And now Army is just going to do a victory lap.
Well, actually, maybe not. They are going to back out.
No.
I do speak too soon. Unfortunate for me. No.
If they lose this game now.
It is a 14k gold lead at 21 minutes.
Hey,
they are averaging, I think, what is that? Oh my gosh.
I just want to see where the gold
Cocoon
is,
will
right?
connect. Hydrolite falls to the, oh my gosh. I can't even speak now. Everything's going to crap. But Mystic falls to Unahana. He's trying to get some extra damage down. He will fall to the combined effort. A triple kill for CRN. Oh my gosh, did I speak too soon again? Am I a caster curse? I said they were gonna end, they didn't end. I said that there's almost no way they lose a fight, and they just lost a fight. Eviscerate. Oh, Genre's in the base! He's gonna try to expect A! He has the shield! It's not gonna matter! He's going to fall eventually! The Spirit Rush is not there! Oh! He had it in his eyes! Expecke was not with us tonight, but it does force a back from the rest of the Navy. They will not be able to grab this dragon and put themselves on soul point, but again, I don't think it really matters. All you have to do is wait for the Jarvan to pop up. You can rush Baron and just brute force your way into this base.
Look, at some point, Army just needs to end this, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. If Navy comes back and wins this game, I will be astounded at the mental
If Navy comes back and wins this game, I'm going to gift you a $500 Ahri skin.
Okay, guys. Okay, you know what? Now that you said that, I'm about to send some messages to Army and just get them to throw this one. No.
Yeah, you want to know the best part is? It's out of the shop. You can't get it anymore.
I mean,
the $500 Ahri skin went out of the shop yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Well, here we go. Navy just needs to get a kill on Zeri and Ahri, and I think they win.
No.
A kill on
To get a kill on Zeri and Ahri, you have to go through their damage first while they're firing away at you. There is no way that the Navy wins this. I have now caster cursor to this. The Navy's going to win. I'm sorry to anyone who bet points on the Army. They're just baiting him in. Oh, a great charm on a Mystic. Will repel over, but they're all just waiting. Genre has the Spirit Rush. Is going to grab Mystic eventually. Another addition. Insidious is going deep. He's stunned up, but he's ready to fight. CRN is taking a lot of damage. The Call of the Forge God. Insidious is so low. Hugify and the Cleanse are in. Utahana is dashing in. Picks up one. Baymax is trying. Only Flux and Eviscerate left for the Navy. A great flag and drag will grab the Annie. Eviscerate falls, the Navy falls, and unless there is a miracle where all of the Army disconnect, that is going to be game one in Army over the Navy. Oh.
Man. Okay. Look, it looked worse than it is, I think. Right? The game,
I disagree.
If you're looking at the game state, if you're looking at the game state right now, it looks absolutely horrible. But I think, I truly think that if the jungler for Navy, if Mystic, had played a little bit more reserved and not given 4 kills over to Ahri in a matter of 2 minutes, I think that the beginning of 3 kills. And one and one to Jarvan. Okay. But if that does not happen, I think this game goes much longer. I think it's a lot closer. I think those tiny missteps in the beginning really got Flux behind in lane. They got Jarvan behind in lane. And then all Army has to do is throw that focus into bot lane, and now Zeri is a monster. I think this game is – I think Navy has a way to win. I do not think this series is going to be as lopsided as this game makes it look like it will be. I think they come back and take game 2.
Well, we will find out if they're going to come back and I cannot speak. We are going to find back if they
just go to commercial. I can't.
We are going to find out if they're able to come back and take game 2 right after this short break.
Yeah, what he said. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of the U.S. Army versus the U.S. Navy. During that break, I was able to fix my mouth so it can actually speak correctly. I say that now, as I caster cursed it twice last game, I'm definitely going to caster curse myself into not speaking correctly very, very soon. I'm joined again by Thalassic. I keep forgetting it's over on this side. Thalassic, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. That game went a little bit
Yeah.
too snowbally for me. But that being said, I think this next game is going to be much, much closer, and I think we're going to see a couple shifted bans. I think both these teams probably know what they need to ban now. I think we're going to see a little bit of a difference. If you threw bans at a top laner and that top laner went 1-4 and was the worst on the team, maybe you take some of those bans and you throw it to a Zeri, right? If you're
I don't think
playing
Ornn was the worst on that team, though.
Volibear. I was talking about Volibear. I was saying for Navy
Okay.
to drop some of those bans towards top lane. If you're Army, I think you just keep the exact same bans and you realize that, hey, if they're going to get aggressive, if they want to play that same game, now we know what they're doing. I don't know. I want to see a spicy run back. I think both these teams think
do you want to
that
see
they
a
can win
spicy
this.
run back? Do you
I
want
wanna
to see a
see it the
spicy
exact
run
same.
back or a salty run back?
Oh, salty. Yeah.
Salty,
I think
there we go.
I think both these teams realize that game could have gone. I think Navy realizes that game could have gone the other way. And I think Army realizes that as long as they're playing at that level, they don't have anything to worry about, right? As long as they're able to take advantage of Navy's mistakes, they can win. So I think both these teams should just ban draft. I don't even think they need to pick. I think we just run the exact same thing back, get into game 2.
All right. During that break, we did have a sub, Bloody A Killer. Thank you for the Prime sub. As I mentioned before, subs go directly into helping this channel and the organization. We are all volunteers, and we do this work to help the AFDL community and active serving military and veterans in North America and Europe, as well as around the world. If you are interested in volunteering or donating, there are links below the stream. You can also type !donate in the chat and follow that link. And subs also get early access to VODs once they are posted, so you can watch me finger fumble Rooski my mouth multiple times and just watch me bury my head. I did it again! Ah!
And here we go. Let's get into draft. It is game 2, so we are going to swap sides. So I'll be curious to see what we get now that the sides are shifted. They're not going to be able to first pick a J4. It's going to be a little different. We are seeing so far
the same band
all 3 bands are the same. Yeah.
Just in a slightly different order. We had Rel last band in the first set of bands this time. Now it was first. So I don't know, maybe the band priority shifted up a little bit. So
Here
far, again, four bands in, the exact same bands: Rel, Corky, Mord, Brand. So gonna see what these last bands are. Is going
Ash,
to be an Ash. I believe that was band
same
second.
bands.
Same bands.
Yeah, this is like I said. Come on, here we go. We're gonna get the run back.
Salty run back. Salty run back. Salty run back.
There's no way, right? Like that. Something has to be
no
different
way.
here.
There is absolutely no way they salty run it.
Okay,
oh no!
J4.
Unfortunately, the bands were actually switched. That is a Jarvan band. They do not want to give Yunahana that Jarvan that he was so dominant on last game. Army is getting rid of the Ash. Do not want to see CRN on that Freljordian marksman as the. No.
I told you. They left Elise up, and this is what I'm telling you. I think if Elise had gone a little bit differently, I think that Navy wins that game. So I like it. I think Navy, we're going to see them run back. They might change the Annie. I don't know. Oh, never mind. Here you go. They took the Leona. They said, we're not running this back.
No, this is a statement game from the Army. They're just like, you know what? Anything you can do, I can do better. But that is going to be a great pick. We have a Vayne for the Navy. We might. There's a... I wonder if we're going to see that top or 80 carry, but this late game Vayne tumbling around doing a lot of damage will counter this Ezreal, as well as Maokai. I believe that should be Maokai support. Mostly played support or jungle right now, but a potential Maokai Vayne bot lane. This is going to be an interesting one.
I'm calling it now. That's a Maokai top and a Vayne 80 carry.
Don't like either one of those. Hui, I don't know his abilities, so you're gonna hear me say the paint thing or the paint river or something, because he has 10 abilities and I'm not paid enough to know all of his abilities.
We're not paid anything. We're volunteers.
Hey,
so he is not wrong. But no, there it is, the Ornn pick. That, if you're gonna ban a top laner from Navy, they're thinking the same as you. Oh man, and an Annie ban. They're leaving that Malzahar up. Come on, Navy, do not let me down. Please tell me that
Navy,
the
please let him
Malzahar
down.
Flux. If you picked Malzahar here, man, I'll be very pleased with you.
I hope he does it. I just want to watch you suffer. If I don't get a Sejuani pick, you don't get a Malzahar pick. I want both of us to suffer together. I don't want one of us to be happy and the other one to be sad, depressed. I want us both to be sad and depressed. That way we can start a club.
Oh, there it is a Maokai.
What is this comp from the Navy?
Yep, and here comes the Malzahar. Here it comes. I'm calling
There's no way you pick Malzahar here. There's no way you pick Malzahar here with 4 AP carry, 4 magic damage deal.
Galio.
That's even worse. That's worse. You see how that's worse. You have 4 magic damage dealers and a Vayne. All you need to do is build Frozen Heart. Congratulations, your Vayne is insanely weak now. And then I'm just gonna stack some magic resist.
I think Navy wins this one. I think they win. Who on Army right now, realistically, does enough damage to get through Galio, Malphite, Maokai?
Hui.
No. Hui is not going to do anything. Hui is going to be so weak.
Hui.
Nope.
Here,
no shot.
Wait, sorry. Maybe I didn't get the enough for you. Hui.
What is the Xin Zhao for?
Xin Zhao's jungle.
Yeah, but what is your ult good for? Blocking one character? Come on.
Blocking Elise, well, I mean, you're not really blocking. You can't block the cocoon.
I was about to say, what is... I like Xin Zhao 99% of the time.
Confused. I'm so confused with these names.
I don't think it makes sense here.
I don't think it makes sense here.
I think that both these teams absolutely knew what to ban. They banned the first picks for both teams, and both these teams said, you know what? Let's just pick our comfort picks, and I think that's what we're getting. I think we're getting comfort picks from every lane, and I'm excited to see the Malphite ult come down, the Maokai root everybody, the Galio come over the top, and then Army to wipe all 5 of them.
I told you it was going to be Maokai support.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, look at that. Diamond player knows the game. What a shocker.
Barely. You still think Sejuani's good. Okay, look.
Diamond buddy. She is an A-tier jungler currently at every level Diamond Plus. And top lane, she's still busted. I beat a Fiora today in lane. I beat a lane counter in lane. Checkmate. Just saying.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't play checkers. But yeah, I like both these teams. I do think if we're looking at this unbiased, I think the Army team is probably better, just draft-wise. I think I hate Ezreal's, but we saw what this AD carry was able to do on Azeri. I'm interested to see if they're able to do a lot of damage here. I agree Hui can do a lot of damage. I don't think the Xin Zhao was the right move, but I still think Army's team looks stronger on paper. I'm excited to see if this game goes 20 minutes, Army wins. If this game goes 35 minutes, I think Goats and Glory wins.
I mean, a late game Vayne is going to 3-shot half the members on the Army. As long as the Xin does not have the Crescent Guard up, he's going to die in only a couple auto attacks from Vayne. As for the rest of this, if Goats and Glory, if Eviscerate does find a good unstoppable force, and Flux is able to just combo on top of it, but it has to be done literally pixel perfect. By the time the army players come down from the knockup from Malphite, they have to immediately be they have to get knocked up by the Galio. That combination of CC along with the tangled roots from Maokai, that CC chain will be deadly. But again, you have an Ezreal that can get out. You have a Xin Zhao that can push people away as long as it's done properly. And Hui, if he's untouched, these AoE team fights are where he excels. Those AoE abilities that deal a massive amount of DOT, that AoE slow, the explosion damage. This Vayne, if it's picked off like that, will die instantly, and you have no follow-up damage from the rest of the Navy squad. Galio does little damage outside of lane, unless he's massively ahead. Malphite is going to be building tank. Elise is going to be your secondary damage, but even still, she's squishy. Her and Vayne are extremely squishy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at both these teams, and like I said, I think Army wins this if the game ends quickly. I think Goats and Glory has a better chance if they can drag this game out a little bit. Although on the other side, this Elise, as we saw, likes to play aggressively. So I think if the Elise is playing aggressively, the counter is they don't have that instant Annie stun, right? They don't have that Annie burst damage. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I think this game's going to be really close. I'm hoping we get an hour-and-a-half game here, and it just goes forever. We get like 8 Barons and 4 Elders, and
I know production is crying right now after hearing you say that. 100%. We are going to get in here into Game 2, U.S. Army versus U.S. Navy. Army looking to close the series out. Navy looking to bring us to one of our first Game 3s in the entire North American side. I don't believe we've had any so far. Spiderling will spot Mystic. Couple bits of damage trading back and forth here, but pretty much standard starts as we expected. Yinahana is going to be my point of focus this game. If he realizes Mystic is going to get extremely aggressive, Xin Zhao is a very strong dueler, especially early.
All right, question, because maybe I'm missing something. Does Mystic not buy a health pot at the beginning? Because this is the second game in a row that I have not seen. Like, is he just holding that money?
Yep. I mean, it's 50 gold, but like Elise heals with the Spiderlings and her auto attacks. So it's similar to like old Warwick where you used to not buy a health pot. There's no reason to do it because like you naturally have that healing. You can buy it just to have it in case you get into a skirmish and you can't really, you just want to be safe, but it's not like completely necessary to purchase one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking at it and I'm like, man, he keeps using that health pot. Yeah, he can't have bought it. And we're going to get a
nice
scuffle.
Zenith Blade connects onto Crown. I'm just going to call him Crown. I'm pretty sure that's his actual name. I was saying CRN.
No,
I'm
CRN.
pretty sure it's Crown.
It's not.
I want to call him
I
Crown.
promise you.
Well, they paused to settle this dispute. Great timing. They're pausing to settle the dispute. All right, Navy. And the unpause. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You used to play for the Navy, so you would know it's CRN.
Yeah, I 100% promise you it's CRN. It's not Crown.
Yeah, I miss Crown playing.
No, guilty
bit of
Crown. We're talking about CRN in game, not you. We're talking about the CRN.
Maybe I miss Guilty Crown too. I'm just saying. Who knows?
Guilty Crown is really good at mashing buttons, which is all you have to do in Street Fighter. They are not the same person, I promise you.
We are going to see our first gank here. A nice twisted advance. Baymax does grab onto Insidious. The flash is in. Insidious is trying to run away. The Ignite will grab the last hit. Hydrolite is trying to run. Mystic grabs a second. Really, no kills go onto the Vayne there, and both of them were low enough for Vayne to be able to grab it. Papa Pluto in for charming this game, doing a great job of bullying Eviscerate early. Unahana is right there. Mystic's gonna walk in blind, does connect with the cocoon. Genre is trying to use the chompers, secure Mystic, but all of these dashes, the repels are in, the flash comes through, the venomous bite. Unahana is very low. Zenith Blade onto Flux. They are trying to get a bunch of this damage out. CRN is there. Mystic grabs another kill. Hydrolite is now in a bad spot again. The flash, but the Condemn connects into the wall. Genre is running. CRN has so much damage. Papa Pluto roamed all the way down, is running down. Insidious is back, gets tagged by the sapling, flashes over the wall. They are still going strong. Mystic going a little bit too far, trying to get a little bit of a damage return. Insidious grabs one kill. Papa Pluto is still going, and this is even more violent than the first game. Papa Pluto with another kill. Flux had TP'd in. He's trying to get some extra damage. The Hex Flash over the wall is not going to be able to reach him in time. A nice stun. Flux is slowed. Hydrolite is going to look for the Zenith Blade, connects under the turret, and another pull. Papa Pluto flashes out. 9 kills in 4 minutes, and the longest team fight I have seen in quite some time. Oh my god, it's still going! And Cocoon connects. Mystic is running. The Venomous Bite is right there, but Genre is ready. A stun in, the repel up. Hydrolite is running. Venomous Bite in. But again, Mystic is stuck in a bad spot. Took a turret shot. Genre is there. Oh my god, Baymax is it now. Everybody is respawning and coming back. Eviscerate kills Papa Pluto in the top lane. Unahama is there. Baymax slays Genre in the mid lane. And now Hydrolite is again in a bad spot. A great Cocoon. Hydrolite is running. He's dying. Mystic has 3 kills this game. It is the exact opposite of last game. And oh my god, stop fighting so I can breathe.
But it's not over. I told you this Navy team likes to be aggressive. When he's on Elise, he loves these fights. And I thought after that initial fight, it was going to swing back to Army. And they just kept going. It didn't end. This has been...
water.
But we're going to get, I think, Zinjao. Nah, Zinjao runs it. Okay.
You be quiet over there.
We just needed to calm down a little bit. Unfortunately for Navy, only one of those kills went on Vayne. Unfortunately for Army, only one of those kills went on Ezreal. So,
I mean, I'd rather have kills on Hui than Ezreal, if I'm gonna be honest.
True.
I
think
would.
Hui does more in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. First dragon will fall. The mountain dragon for the Navy, the extra resistance is gonna stack up very well later when Flux and Eviscerate have a lot of tankiness. So we are going to get to see another fight here. Insidious and Hydrolite full health. CRN is trying to go forward. Level 5 Vayne, level 3 on both the enemy. And we got fights on both sides of the map. Papa Pluto and Eviscerate trading blows back and forth. They both have ultimates. They're both going to jump in on their enemy. But who's going to do it first? Papa Pluto gets caught out. Eviscerate goes in. Baymax stuns. And Twisted advances. Takes a turret aggro, and Hydrolite does grab the last hit onto this Maokai. A 1-for-1 dive. No summoner spells traded from the Navy, so just a simple, even trade. Right now,
and
this is a 4-kill
in the top lane.
I mentioned the solo kill. I'm talking about bot lane.
Look, this is exactly what Navy needs to do. I think Army is a little bit behind the pace this game compared to last game. I think they just need to pick it up a little bit. I think the Zinjao is probably not as omnipresent as the Jarvan was. That Jarvan was everywhere. This Zinjao is farming creeps, is PvE right now, and this Elise is PvP. And you can see it in their stat lines, right? 4-1-2 versus 1-1-1, 44 farm on 29. We'll have to see what works out in the long run. So far, though, this way is going to be a problem for Galio. We need to see a little bit of attention paid to the mid.
Here's the thing. Unahana grabbed all 3 of the Void Grubs in last game. He was able to get all 6 for his team. And with the Ezreal, if Hui's able to keep Galio out of his lane, here's the thing. Galio in lane is down in ability. He does not have an ultimate, but Baymax, Flash Twisted advances in, has gone a little bit too far, but The hunt is in. CRN picks up is going to try to get some kills down, but Scumbag Mystic is taking all of them. CRN finally gets his second kill, and a great engage from Baymax right on top of Insidious. There is no way for him to get out, even using the cleanse. He has no flash to get that extra little bit of distance. CRN does so much damage, already has the full completed boots. Papa Pluto is trying to get some damage back here, but Malphite already has Bramble Vest and a Giant's Belt. That anti-healing is crucial, and we got fights again on both sides of the map. A great repel blocks the Zenith Blade. Mystic is now not in the best spot. 2 turret plates taken down by Insidious is very low. I gotta stop saying taken down because that is all that is happening right now. I want some different action.
No, this is exactly what I wanted. Are you kidding? This is a lot of action. We're at 19 kills at 9 minutes. Like, this is 2 kills a minute. Over 2 kills a minute.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
And Maokai's roaming up to try to help Mystic against this Xin Zhao. But look at that level difference. 4 and 5 versus 7 and 7. You just need to get out of there.
Unohana he's looking, he knows, and Hydrolai is there as well. The Cocoon connects. Unohana is locked down. Galio all in. Unohana falls, and it is now a massive AoE fight. Genre grabs one. He grabs the help of the second with Insidious. Mystic is not in a good spot, and they are hunting him down all the way with a great bolt from above. Will grab his 4th kill, and again, this is a 4-kill Hui. Cool, your Elise has kills. You're fighting in tight corridors. That's where both teams want to fight, and Hui does the most in those areas.
Yeah, I think Elise definitely needs to shift focus to this way. If the Elise right now has enough burst damage to kill the Wei, but the Wei, if he's not touched, is going to run these team fights, and we just saw it there again, right? They're able to get a pick on Xin Zhao. Wei comes, and Wei's doing a lot of damage. Both teams need to focus on killing one person, and the game's easier.
Genre's taken a lot of damage from Flux, but he has no escape now. Mystic is still there, misses the Cocoon. Unohana is going to try to run away, but a great chomp from Genre keeps Flux and Mystic away from his jungler. This way is going to still be able to do a lot of damage. Insidious and CRN trading kills back and forth. Trading blows back and forth. Ezreal is down 30 CS. A great unstoppable force, but an even better flash from Genre. Gets the flash ult from Maokai, and this is going to leave Papa Pluto in a free pushing lane, and I think we're about to see a dive here if Hydrolai can find a good Zenith Blade, but they don't know where the rest of the team is at. The pings are coming down, and we're going to get another fight here. Baymax is going to try to keep his AD carry alive, and so far he will succeed. This is all 5 bot lane. Genre TP'd in as well. CRN has to flash over the wall. The Sky Splitter comes down for Volibear. First one falls, Baymax dies. Eviscerate is going to be next, and he cannot survive the onslaught of 3. Papa Pluto grabs 1. Mystic is now extremely low, gets tagged with another Hui ability, and the great Arcane Shift flash forward from Insidious grabs another. 14-12 at 11.5 minutes. The dragon has spawned again, and this one should be the armies to claim. The grubs are also up, and right now, Unohana is living in the Navy's jungle.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see if you're a Navy fan. Unfortunately for them, the Army has been doing a great job of just sticking in it. Even when they're losing these fights at the beginning, they're coming back and getting 2-3 return kills and evening it out. And at this point, they're not just evening out the fights. If one of them gets picked, the whole team collapses like we saw there with double teleport, and they're winning the fights. Now they're up 3K gold.
Baymax is looking. He doesn't have the vision, but Mystic does. A great Cocoon and another Galio heroic entrance. Hydrolai is caught, and nice taunt onto Papa Pluto, but they don't have any more follow-up. They don't want to go any deeper. Insidious is there with the Triforce, and that is going to be a strong Ezreal for the next couple of minutes. They don't want to risk it. They don't have the Hui, so they don't chase any further. But Unohana is going to face check. He's stunned by the Cocoon and the Twisted Advance. Eviscerate picks up another kill. Oh, Unohana is just face checking. You don't have the vision, and there's so much CC still existing in basic abilities for the Navy that you do not want to face check into.
Yeah, and there's a lack of vision here, but it won't matter as Ezreal's going to come in on top.
It will not matter. A nice taunt and twisted advance will grab Insidious, but again, they just don't have enough follow-up damage. Mystic is not there. He's so low. If he goes in, he will fall. A nice Zenith Blade connects. Flux will fall as well. And Eviscerate is kind of low. A nice Seismic Shard grabs a bit of damage onto Papa Pluto, will dissuade the potential dive. There's no Volibear ult. Eviscerate does have the Unstoppable Force, so we should be looking for a fight here. Meanwhile, the army is going to take these next set of 3 grubs. They will have all 6 grubs. They will have those double Void Mites, so any one fight means they're going to be able to push a lot. A great Unstoppable Force gets onto the back line. The Malphite will die. Insidious is over the wall, but Mystic can join him. He's going to try to run away. Unohana is stunned up by the cocoon, and Mystic is doing a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. Unohana has help. Oh yeah. My gosh, this is so much violence.
And the gold differential has stayed the same. Throughout all of that, throughout the grubs, throughout all of these fights, Army has stayed about 2,000 gold ahead, which means they are just ahead enough. And I think a lot of that is in this Hwei and this Ezreal. Just like last game, the mid laner and the AD carry are pulling ahead. And unlike last game, we actually have someone who should be able to deal with that, right? This Elise is 8, 4, and 5. We need to be playing, Navy needs to be playing for picks. And they need to be playing for picks specifically on either the Ezreal or the Hwei. Because just like last game, those two are being able to free fire in all of these fights. And unfortunately, Vayne just has not been able to get the kills. 5 assists, but only 2 kills. A lot of that gold not going their way. And I think in the end, it's hurting Goats in Glory. But not so much that they can't come back.
Production, can I get a look at the gold for each player? Can I get a look at the gold for each player? Oh, nice cocoon does set up Hydrolite. He is stuck in a nice heroic entrance, but again, you're only hitting the tank Leona. Eviscerate is stuck. No Unstoppable Force to get him out. And a Hwei ult, the Spiraling Despair, will deal so much damage. This Hwei, untouched, Hydrolite, they spent all of that just to kill the Leona, and they didn't even get the kill. Meanwhile, Insidious and Janna are just firing away their abilities. And it looks like it has steadied out. They are going to push this in. Should be able to grab this turret here. The minions will not survive long enough, though. Cocoon goes wide, does not connect, will not reach. And meanwhile, Unohana is baiting them in. Papa Pluto grabs a stun. Unohana and Insidious pick up another. The Maokai will fall as well. The tree is chopped down, and the army is collecting the timbers.
That is a 4K gold.
That is disgusting.
Hwei is up 4K gold. Basically, the entirety of their gold bleed is in Hwei's pocket with about 700 on Ezreal. This is, you need to kill Hwei. You cannot let this Hwei keep doing what he's doing. The ult was amazing. He's landing all of his abilities on the entire mass of the Navy team. We need to get some picks on this Hwei if they're gonna pull out a victory in one of these fights.
At this point, again, like they have the combination. They have the Malphite and the Galio ult combination, but all they are using the Galio ult for is just whenever they say, but they're not finding the right engage. That last fight, you have a heroic entrance. That's a 2.5 minute long cooldown, and all you're hitting is the Leona. You're not getting the value out that you need to be getting.
Army double teleported in immediately. As the Galio ult came down, both teleports were coming in. That is some much needed objective bounty money for Navy, but we're still 10 minutes away from a soul. If Army's able to get any of those dragons, that number just keeps increasing. 15 minutes if Army takes the next 3. So I don't see this game going to a soul at this point. Navy needs to start getting some picks. There's 7K gold down. And when, 5K plus of that is on your way, you really need to find a way to win this game if you're Navy.
No, No, production, fire him. Get rid of him. Mute his mic. Please do whatever. What is it with you and these puns? Why?
I think
Why
they're
do you
funny.
keep doing it? Hydrolai gets tagged by the cocoon. Flux will taunt him, but it doesn't matter. You're only hitting the Leona tank. You're hitting a Leona that has Aftershock, that has the Shield of Daybreak, that has all these extra tanky stats. A great ult from Eviscerate will finally grab Insidious, but there's not enough damage. The Spiraling Despair does so much damage, and that's a wipe! Mystic is the only one left alive. Does grab a revenge kill on Insidious, trying to run away, but there's so much damage that he has to deal with. Papa Pluto is there, but Genre picks up what is technically the solo kill. So much damage, and that was a beautiful team fight. Yunahana was in the bot lane. That was a 4v5. Uses the Herald, gets 2 turrets, and is going to be able to take this inhibitor at 18 and a half minutes. Oh, this game just slingshotted so much in favor of the Army.
Yeah, like we said before the game, if this game ends at 20 minutes, Army's going to win it. If they're able to go long, Navy will, and it looks like Wei knew what they needed to do. They knew their win condition was get this mid laner to 10-1-10. A Medjai's with 25 stacks, 2 completed items. He is up 7. Yeah, 6,000 gold ahead of Galio.
That's 2 items. He is up 2 full items.
They're up 12k gold as a team. He is half of their gold lead in one person.
Oh my!
If you don't kill him, you don't win.
Okay, just keep him away from Fnatic though, because Fnatic would find a way to ruin this.
If you can't,
I'm never gonna let that go.
He gets that ult. If he gets that ult off in a team fight again, where he's able to hit 4 people and wipe them, like, I mean, realistically, that was a Hui pentakill, right? Like it.
Oh, absolutely.
It really should have been. I get it. His team is there. Hooray! But that ult alone did 4 of those kills. Like
I wish we had replay or like the LCS trackers to see damage dealt in that last fight, because I'd have to assume Hui dealt at least 6k damage in that fight.
More than that. I mean, just the amount of health that Malphite and Galio and Maokai have. Like man, he is a monster, and he's playing
absolutely.
Smart.
And we're going to get another fight here. Yunahana goes in, gets tagged up by the Maokai ult, doesn't want to go any further. But right now, here's the other thing that you have to realize: Hui is out of flash. I'm not even going to bother. Flux is dead. Hui is out of flash, but right now Flux is dead. Here's the only way that they can really get back in. Eviscerate has to hit a perfect ult onto the Hui. Flux has to ult literally, again, frame perfect on top, and they have to keep this Hui locked down. The cocoon went wide, but it doesn't matter. Genre will fall. The shutdown went to the Elise, but half the health of Malphite is gone, and that was without just a full combo of abilities. The Baron goes down. Yunahana's going in. Hydrolide misses the Zenith Blade, but Papa Pluto's trying to find his way back in. But Crown is up. CRN is up. The Vayne is free firing, and Pluto is taken very low. But CRN gets tagged by the Zenith Blade. He is stunned. Flux ult comes in. Insidious is locked up, and this is actually going to be a 1-team fight for the Navy if they can keep going. Mystic is getting taken low. Papa Pluto with a double kill. But right now, Yunahana is in. Crown, CRN walks too far up. Papa Pluto is going to try to get in there, get another stun on the Baymax. He will fall. The Xin Zhao is going to keep hitting back. Papa Pluto survives. He's TPing into the base. A complete ace. Only lose Insidious. Genre died before the fight even started. That was a 1 fight for the Army without their hyper carry. And Papa Pluto, with this massive minion wave, the Baron buff, they're gonna take this down. They are going to end this series. Potentially, I cast a curse to do last time, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. The U.S. Army beat the Navy 2-0.
Yeah, you know, some days it just goes like that. Some days things don't go your way, and some days you show up like Army did, right? Their you got to give a shout out to both their mid lane and their AD carry. Both games, these people carried, absolutely dominated. Even when you have an Elise that is so far ahead, right? They were making moves in the bot lane early. We said it like Navy is winning these fights, but on the other hand, Hue was there cleaning them up. And when he's able to clean them up, get those kills, get what was he at the end? At the end, he was 9,000 gold lead ahead. And when he's getting that far ahead and you're not able to take him down, when Army's front line is doing so well that you just can't get to him, and when you do finally get to him, you got to remember at this point, he's done enough to get his team ahead that even though he's 9K ahead, the rest of his team is still 7,000 gold ahead. And even in a 4v5, Navy at that point was just too far behind in the money department, not able to pull it out. They put up a great showing. Shout out to everyone on the team, but Army just looked unstoppable.
So the only way I really think that the Navy could have won that second game is if they got all those early kills onto the Vayne. If that Vayne was 7-1 instead of 2-1-5, that would have been a completely different game. Vayne would have gotten Blade of the Ruin King, Rage Blade, and IE so much quicker, would have been able to melt through the Volibear and the Leona that were getting on top of her. But again, you have all this engaged, you have so little peel. If you're spending all your resources to get towards the backline, towards this way, towards this Ezreal, you have nothing that's going to stop the Xin and the Volibear just getting on top and dogpiling your 80 carry.
Yeah,
and with your 80 carry being Vayne, yeah.
Like Vayne,
sorry,
you think Vayne can get out of it, right? Vayne should be able to be mobile and roll away, but like you said, even without Hue there, everyone in your team goes forward, and what happens with Xin Zhao, even when Navy was a little ahead in that fight, when he lands his abilities, he's able to jump right to Vayne, take out the Vayne, and we get those sort of fights where Army's just able to roll it, and it leads to a pretty convincing 22-minute win.
I believe the total game time was less than
43
was I think
minutes.
less than 50 minutes for both games. This is what we saw last week when we had the Coast Guard playing the Air Force, and that was the Air Force playing around. This is a extremely dominant Army team that I think maybe once we get to these late season potential playoff looking pictures, I think we could potentially see the Army put up this Army iteration put up a real fight against the Air Force, who looks to be the most dominant force that we have here in North America.
Yeah, these North American teams are something different. It's been great watching all the, across the pond teams play, but these North American teams, Air Force, Army, even Navy, they've been showing up. Coast Guard, you tried your best. You're doing a great job putting in that effort. But these teams have looked really good, and I think Army came out swinging tonight. I think with a little bit of practice, Navy might be able to put up a little more of a fight, but Air Force, Army, they're looking pretty solid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so I was able to just check the schedule real quick. Guess who we got playing on Saturday? Army, Air
New
Force.
Zealand. Okay, I was gonna guess New Zealand and Canada, but no, that
in
works.
What sport though? In what sport? Is it rugby, soccer, football? What are we talking here?
No idea. I made up the teams.
We will get to see this Army team go up against the Air Force. This should be top of the table, one of the best games we have, and we have an incredible weekend coming up. As always, follow the channel, get those notifications whenever we go live, because we have some bangers coming this way. We have Army Air Force on Saturday. Next Monday, I will be back for the Royal Air Force versus the French Army, the Air and Space. Is the matchup I've been looking forward to for the entire season. Is going to be a banger weekend. I cannot wait. And again, sub so you don't miss these VODs, to get them before they go up on YouTube, especially if you're one of these teams and you need to see, Air Force, you should be subbing. You should be checking these VODs. You know that you're going to have to play these guys this upcoming weekend, see their strengths, try to find their weaknesses. But the way Army played today, I don't really think they have any, or the weaknesses that they do have, they're going to be very hard to exploit.
Yeah, like we saw, that it's going to be very difficult to deal with them. But what amazing games we had tonight. Army did absolutely great, taking out Navy in both games. And I got to say, it has been a pleasure, as always, to be here casting with you. Even though I just noticed my name is spelled wrong.
Is it? What's wrong with it?
2 S's, 1 L.
Look,
I did not
getting the final say.
Time. But thanks for having me anyway. It's been a blast tonight.
Thank you for coming in, Thalassic. Always fun casting with you, despite the fact that you make the cringiest puns since Freak. Thank you to the Army and the Navy for the absolute insane games and making me cast for what I think was 90 seconds straight. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all on Saturday night.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad. Cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel